Our News is brought to you by Alive.
Believe in best.
Welcome to Our News and thanks for joining us. I'm Christina Dragovich. Topping news tonight, acting president of the Doctors Union, Dr. Makumba Miller, is blasting Minister of Health, Dr. Dwayne Sands, after he asserted that some clinicians are being paid significant salaries for only a few hours of work per week. Jared Higgs tells us more.
Unpaid holidays and deplorable facilities for on-call staff are just a few of the issues acting Doctors Union President Dr. Makumba Miller says fellow physician and Health Minister Dr. Dwayne Sands should be focused on instead of going to the House of Assembly to blast some clinicians whom Sands said are making $60,000 per year while only working 5 hours per week.
The Minister of Health has met with the Bahamas Doctors Union on previous occasions, and this matter has never been mentioned in respect to our body. In fact, the recently signed industrial agreement between the parties specifically mandates the policies and procedures that either the union or the government should follow in order to air the grievances. Every physician should receive a comprehensive annual appraisal in which any negatives about an employee's performance are addressed and documented.
During his contribution to the mid-year budget debate, Sands said there is a visible minority of underperforming or non-performing clinicians. He added that those individuals contribute mightily to the damaged morale of those who do perform their duties. Miller says he agrees with Sands on one point, that morale is low among doctors. He says where they differ is their reasoning.
Physicians in the public sector have to manage patients in a system with a chronic lack of medications and equipment, leading to substandard care for our population. The government has refused to pay its physicians holiday pay, which is contrary not only to our industrial agreement, but also to the labor laws of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. The Medical Council illegally blocked a number of qualified physicians from obtaining a private license prior to the 2014 Medical Act, thus trapping these seasoned professionals in the public system.
Miller says violations of the industrial agreement also frustrate the physicians he represents. Trade Union Congress President Obi Ferguson says his union stands ready to support the doctors if they decide that more action is necessary to get their point across.
Whenever Doc sees fit, and he calls upon us like he did now, we will do what we have to do. There will be no notice, though, of whatever we're going to do. It'll happen. That's the point. We're not going to say we come in tomorrow morning and we can close Bay Street down. Bay Street ain't no issue to us. We want these agreements to be followed. Simple. We sign them, we agree to them, we're asking those responsible to follow the agreement, and there'll be no need for press conference of this nature.
When Miller was asked if his union was satisfied with Sands' job as Minister of Health prior to the comments made this week, he said they know Sands as a surgeon, but not quite as a politician.
This is what the third government I've been through. We just have to, the third Minister of Health that we've been through, we just have to really just see how things go and how it goes. You know, you never know. You never know until actions come and then the time comes forth for something to be done, or see where their agenda is.
Sands said human resources management in the public healthcare system has not dealt with underperforming physicians effectively, and they continue to take advantage of a failing system. Reporting for Our News, I'm Jared Higgs.
Meanwhile, nearly 200 non-performing contract workers at the Ministry of Education could be out of work soon. That's according to Education Minister Jeffrey Lloyd, who says the axe could fall in a matter of days. Lloyd says he doesn't care who may not like it. Jasmine Brown has that.
Now, please make sure this spot is on there. I don't care. I mean, you want to accuse this government of political victimization all you want. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I'm going to do what is in the best interest of the Ministry of Education and the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And I've said from the floor of the House of Assembly, if you have a job, you better do it. And if you're not going to do it, you will be fired.
Strong words coming from the Education Minister, who says the government cannot afford to keep non-performing workers on the payroll. His comments came in response to questions concerning those hundreds of contract workers that were hired under the former Christie administration. The hiring of those workers was revealed weeks after the Minister administration took office last May. Since then, Lloyd says the ministry has put those workers through intense training and has decided to keep an estimated 400 workers on the payroll based on their stellar performance.
quite a number of them simply did not know what it means to be a public servant. A number of them did not understand what it means to, really be employed. So we decided that we would conduct training sessions for everybody, and we did that. We invited all of those contract workers to come to a 2-day training in which they would be introduced to the public service. This is what general orders is. This is what it means to be a public servant, so on. And secondly, to what we call soft skills. In other words, come to work on time, come properly dressed, follow directions, be respectful, and so on and so forth. I'm happy to report that approximately 410 of those contract workers acquitted themselves excellently. And they are, enormously talented young people in that cohort of persons.
However, he says that is not the case for at least 200 contract workers.
We obviously have a decision to make. We want to be as compassionate and as generous as our means would allow. But at the same time, for the betterment of our society and for them, because if you don't want to be here and if you're not interested, then we have a decision to make. We are taking a decision that will possibly involve, some disciplinary action, which even could result in termination. But that decision is yet to be made.
As for those who may criticize the move,
that's why we conducted at great expense those training exercises, to give you an opportunity to learn about the public service, to learn about your job, to understand what it means to be employed. We are giving you a chance. This is our compassion. But if you are not going to take advantage of it and you're not going to be responsive to our invitation to do a job and to do it properly, we'll fire you. It's as simple as that. And if you want to turn that anything, go ahead. What I know is that I serve the Bahamian people, and their money is going to gain for them value.
Reporting for our News, I'm Jasmine Brown.
RBC customers expressing discontent today as the announced branch closures began. Our Jillian Gray was on site on the final day of business at RBC's Robinson Road location.
The first of 4 branch closures took place today as the RBC Robinson Road location opened its doors for the last time. Customers flowed in and out for most of the day and shared mixed emotions about its closure.
Me personally, if one isn't working, you just go to another.
Our business is right in Richmond Park, so it's very inconvenient that they're closing because, it's right here. I don't have to go so far. But it's really, really sad, because for the amount of money this particular bank makes in this country, it almost appears as though they're only looking out for their bottom line. Their services are needed and they are used, and it's just sad to see that they don't sympathize with the locals here when it comes to the services that they need provided.
It is an inconvenience because I live right around the corner. I can always come here to my banking, and the fact that it has a drive-through ATM, it's really, really good. I'm concerned that Royal Bank is closing so many branches and laying off so many of our Bahamian staff and taking the businesses elsewhere.
When RBC's consolidation announcement was made back in January, members of Parliament quickly lashed out, with the loudest voices coming from Long Island MP Adrian Gibson and South Andros MP Picewell Forbes, whose islands will be affected as RBC plans to close branches in those constituencies in the coming weeks. A few customers today also expressed discontent with the Family Island closures.
I have family in Bimini who were severely impacted. My niece's business, she has a business over there, and she transfers money to me to the account here so that I can do her shopping and stuff in Nassau. When Royal Bank pulled out, it was a serious inconvenience.
Following the closure of Robinson Road's branch, today will be the closure of JFK next week Friday, as both branches will be consolidated with Carmichael Road. These moves at RBC came just months after the corporation announced it would be discontinuing several of its in-branch services as it undergoes a digital transition. Needless to say, some customers are not happy about that move either.
Old people don't know about these things, but they rich. They got money, and they money in there. They don't need no but going on the line. They don't even go to the ATM. You understand? So guess what? No. This online thing, that ain't right. Let's think about the outliners out there. We get all them islanders. You see what I'm saying? Sorry, sugar. You ain't hearing me?
Step forward. Let her
we
pass.
have to think Thank you. See, don't mind, we can't do that. We get people on the island. You understand? They ain't know nothing but this. Huh? Sometimes this, okay, this is the upside, right? When you call it, we get it like this. Hello, I can't hear you. They don't even know how to hold it up. They know how to answer old-time phone and go on the line. They don't know about ATM. It's wrong.
RBC's Andrewstown location will be closed as of March 30th, with its Grays location in Long Island to follow April 13th, as both branches will be consolidated with RBC's main branch here in New Providence. Reporting for Our News, I'm Julian Gray.
In other news, the minister responsible for the environment has had the rug pulled from under him in the midst of one of the largest environmental projects to impact the country in years. That according to Re-Earth President Sam Duncombe, who says Romuald Ferreira is the right man for the job, but he's being stifled.
When you look at Minister Ferreira, who is the Minister of the Environment, and a few months ago, it came out that this portfolio was taken from him and that portfolio was taken from him. First of all, Mr. Ferreira is a scientist and a lawyer. And because all of those things were taken from him, he's not going to be able to say what he needs to say about the deal.
Duncombe says Ferreira, who was quite outspoken on environmental issues while in opposition, appears to have been silenced by the Minnis administration. An official gazette dated August 22, 2017, revealed that 7 portfolio responsibilities were transferred from Ferreira to Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis, including oversight of the Bahamas Environment, Science and Technology Commission. Officials claimed that 6 of those responsibilities were snatched from Ferreira in error.
Why haven't they, in all the weeks and months since it came out that Minister Ferreira had all these portfolios taken from him, why hasn't the government made that right and enshrined all of the portfolios that should be looked after under the Minister of Environment, given to him legally? Why? Because they don't want it to happen.
However, since that transfer, Ferreira has been eerily quiet on environmental issues, with no mention of the Oban issue during the Environment Minister's mid-year budget contribution. Duncombe says something is not right.
He's had the rug pulled out from under him, and they used him because he is the right man for the job, but they don't want to hear what he has to say. That's not cool.
She maintains that Ferreira is the right man for the job, and in spite of his apparent muzzling by the Minnis administration, he still has an important point of view.
And quite frankly, I would say them anyway if I was him, but that's another story.
Well, our Kyle Joaquin pushed through the pain today as he worked up a sweat with the CrossFit Pot Cake. It's another Fit Friday.
They call him the CrossFit Pot Cake. Every day, Charles Johnson runs an intense CrossFit training program bound to get the body in tip-top shape. So it was a no-brainer I'd get in on a quick workout with him.
We focus on gymnastics, right? Metabolic conditioning. Don't let gymnastics fool you.
Yeah.
Gymnastics is, the meaning of gymnastics is body movements. Right? And then, we got the weightlifting aspect of it, right? Just moving object force, right? And we definitely got the what we call a metabolic conditioning, that's the cardio.
So I won't die?
No.
You have to think about that just now?
No.
So we got started with some stretching and then the warm-up, which seemed like quite the workout.
Good. Come on. 2 seconds.
And then it was time to get down to business.
We go for 3 rounds, 20 cal on the assault bike, right? 12 deadlifts, right? 12 goblet squats, and 12 box jump. But this is how this is gonna go down. Every minute on the minute, which means you have a minute to get 12 calories here. When that minute is up, on the top of the next minute, you have to start with the deadlifts, right? This is the intensity of the workout. 2, 3, 4. You got 30 seconds to rest. before the next station.
Oh, I do?
It's every minute on the minute. EMOM.
Oh, I get to rest?
Yeah. Watch the clock.
Oh.
1, go. 2, good squat, Todd. 3, 4. Then give this boy a membership. 5.
And I thought I was doing pretty well, at least until we got into the second and third circuit.
10. 2 more. 1 more. You got rest. 20 seconds. Got rest. 8, 9, 10. 2 more. Up. Come on. Oh, them legs dead.
Yeah.
Come on. 1. Stand up straight. Come on. 2. 5. Now you sit on the machine and checking your cell phone doing selfies. You're working. Move the 5. Let's go. You're almost there. We're looking at the end. Ready? 12. Come on. Come on. 12. Let's go. We can finish. 1 more. You gotta get on the bike. Come on.
Hey, tired, man.
That's it. 12-minute workout. Think you get all that in an hour? That's all you need. My specialty is EMOM training every minute on the minute so people can work quickly so they can get rest. The quicker you get through the workout, the more rest you have, all right? And we try to see how deep you get into rounds. And it's effective conditioning and workout. And that's all it is. And a workout doesn't have to be long. As long as you can keep that heart rate up for 12 to 20 minutes, that's all you need.
How did I do?
You did well for your first time. Saying that you never did a CrossFit class before,
Yeah.
Extremely well. Some people wouldn't even finish the first round of that workout.
Say it again.
Some people wouldn't even finish the first round of that workout. So you did well.
With another Fit Friday for Our News, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
Good job, Kyle. Still to come on Our News, uncertainty mounts over the controversial OBAN deal. Plus, the Customs and Immigration Union urges government to deliver on its promise. That's coming up when Our News returns.